Hi everyone, it's Sharon, Recreation Programmer for Child, Youth, and Family with the City of Burlington, and today I am going to do a twofold activity with you that includes going outside as well as taking part in some things inside. As you can see, I've got a tree branch here. I'm going to make a jewelry tree. So the first task that you have is to get outside. Go for a walk, maintain your social distancing, and look for some branches or twigs. The other option that you have, and something that I had done, was that I need to do a little bit of pruning in the yard. So if you are lucky enough to have some trees or something of that nature that need pruning, you can ask your parents, you can help them out and do a little yard work so that you can get what you need for this particular craft. Make sure that you ask before you start chopping things willy-nilly. And please make sure that if you are going out for a walk and just looking for random sticks, that they're ones that have naturally fallen off of a tree. Please don't be breaking branches off of people's trees. So you want to find something that has some interesting branching on it. This one has lots. We're not going to keep everything. You are going to trim off certain things. So this just easily broke off in my hand. So once you've kind of found what you're looking for, you're going to bring it in, size it up, and start taking off pieces that you don't think that you are going to need. The other thing is that since you're using this to hang jewelry on, you want it to be strong enough to hold it up. So sort of test things out. If the twigs are a little bit small, they're probably not going to hold very well. If you have some green wood, it's a little bit harder to just snap off. So you may have to do a little twist as well. So you can kind of see this one, it's pretty flexible, but it's certainly not going to hold anything. You can twist it and try and get it off. I happen to have a pair of pruning shears, so I can trim what I don't want. So you're going to take this and you're going to trim it down to the size that you want, and you're going to leave. Like, these are really, really great. So you might not need all of this length. So I'm going to trim here and here, take off these little bits, and here, which gives me 3 really nice points. This one I might just make a little bit smaller, shorter. Same, I'm going to get rid of this, I think. But play around so that you have sort of what you want. Obviously, the length at the bottom, you may have to trim that some more, or you may be able to leave it the length that you have it. So you can leave your twig au naturel. It looks beautiful. You don't need to do anything to it. However, if you do want to fancy this up, I have some further twigs that I had prepared yesterday, and I've actually painted these. So I used sort of a bigger brush. It was much easier just because it kind of swooped around the branches. The paint job is certainly not perfect. I can see that I have some open marks, but I really don't mind. I think it looks a little bit more rustic that way. But you can use anything. You could use a sponge brush. I did use a smaller brush for one of my other ones. It just took a little bit more time. So whatever you happen to have is fine. A sponge might be super easy because then you can kind of get it in some of the nooks and crannies. So you could paint them if you would like. The other thought you would have is that you could wrap them with some yarn. If you have some really fun colored yarn or something of that nature, it would just take you some time. And my suggestion would be is that you put a dab of glue at your starting point, wrap, stick another dab when you get up a couple of inches, just to kind of keep everything steady. And then you can just wrap all the way to the ends, or you could just wrap your main branches, whatever you want to do. Doesn't have to be super fancy. As I said, you can leave it plain Jane because it looks beautiful. The other things that you will need are a jar of some variety. So I have a couple of things. Really, really large vase. Obviously, you need to ask if this is something that somebody uses on the regular, then you're probably not going to be able to use it for a jewelry tree. But if it's not something that is used regularly, then have at her. Or if you have something decorative that you already just have sitting on your vanity or something, then this gives it another purpose as well. This is I believe that probably had spaghetti or something in it. I just took the wrapper off of it. You can still see some glue. You could use a spaghetti tin. You could use anything you wanted to and then just decorate it if you want it to look a lot better. Again, you can wrap it with yarn. You could draw a picture on paper and then wrap it around the outside. You can embellish it with fun paper or stickers of things that you like, whatever you want. Obviously, you're going to need something to weigh it down as well, just because once you start putting jewelry in it, your weight is going to change and you want your sticks to stay stable. This is some sand that I picked up at the dollar store, but you could use small rocks. I know that they have polished stones. And if it's something that's solid like this or a tin, you can just throw in a bunch of rocks or dirt because nobody's going to see it and it doesn't matter. I also have some rice here. I haven't dyed this rice, but you can dye rice. It can be super, super pretty, and you can use that to help weigh things down. So you're just going to take your branches and you're going to pop them in. It's nice if you can get them kind of on a lean because then it gives them that a little bit more stability. Some already prefab stability. Poke yourself in the eye. And set this up however you would like. So you may have to do a little bit of playing to get things situated exactly where you want them, and you can move things around as much as possible. And then whatever it is that you happen to be using to create that stability, this isn't very pretty. They have much prettier things at the dollar store. You could get colored sand and then make a really neat pattern in your container. So you can almost make a picture in your container that is then holding your sticks. So these are pretty stable. I can still move them around a little bit. So if you wanted to move them wherever you thought that they would fit a little bit better, you can do that. Once you're happy with how this looks, there it is. You're done. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. And then you're going to take your jewels, whatever they happen to be, and hang them up. So you have this really cute, really simple jewelry holder that will take up a certain amount of space, but it's certainly pretty easy. You may have to play. That's a little bit heavy, so it doesn't really want to stay on there. So maybe I'm not hanging it on that branch. I'm going to hang it on this one. And that worked out a lot better. This particular bracelet you could try and hang, but is likely going to fall off. But your jar can work twofold and it can hang on the side of the jar. For hoop earrings, what I really like to do is I put them together as a pair, and then I can just hang one of the hoops. And there they are, hanging there, no problem. You can pop them off whenever you want them. So it looks like a really cool piece of artwork. It holds your jewelry for you so you can have a peek at it and you can grab whatever you need. It doesn't take a lot of effort. Gives you the opportunity to make sure that you get outside, as well as giving you a really cool craft and art piece when you're done. So don't forget to get outside, stay safe, and live and play every day. See you next time. Bye.